Boom.
See, you the second step is too much movement.
Am I doing it right?
It's too much movement. It's just bang, come in, then lock. Slap, hug, lock.
Like
This is so embarrassing. Stop.
No finger guns.
Before we have Rachel come in really quick. Actually, no. Go ahead, Rachel. Go ahead.
Oh, hello. Hi, everybody.
Hey.
Hi.
Come into frame.
Hi. So, whenever people say silly things like, oh, I feel sorry for your wife and kids, I always say, I'm happy to come on and, say hello and, just field any questions you guys might have about what it's like to be married to a based Giga Chad like Andrew. So, if you got anything to say, here I am.
Based Giga Chad.
I'll go first then.
That's fun.
How do
She's
you feel
trolling
with
them.
your husband making these comments on
What
live
comment?
as well? Well, just saying rude things to women or screaming over them. How do you feel with that?
Well, he doesn't say rude things to women until they say something rude to him first. So Bangs was the first one to say, he's got wrinkles and he's old and he's got gray hair and
Okay.
he's gross. So of course he's going to say something back. And they've had exchanges back and forth before. And she's plenty happy to be rude and say mean things to him first. Everyone thinks that's okay because she's a woman.
Yeah,
But if
that's not okay. That is not okay. I always say do not tolerate any kind of disrespect from any woman. No. We don't live in the tolerate zone anymore. If she disrespects you and call you names, call her names back. That's it.
If Andrew just simply gives her a taste of her own medicine back, you all go,
Facts.
do you believe he said that? It's like, why? Why is it fine for her to insult him, but it's uncalled for when he just simply gives it back to her? What's wrong with that?
Also, last time I was on here, he said that I wasn't a 10 because I had small boobies.
Oh my goodness.
And I didn't do anything. I just said I was a 10.
I have a question for you too. He said that you're getting worse with age. How do you feel about that?
Well, I've been on the show myself, and I'm 44 years old. I've had 5 kids. So, no, I'm not a
Bro, listen to these modern women trying to sabotage their relationship.
self, and I'm 44 years old. I've had 5 kids. So, no, I'm not as hot as I was when I was 22. This is a fact of life that all women have to deal with. The time of your life that you're hot it's short and it's limited. You're not going to always be a hot chick. So, you
Man,
can't
she
expect
gets it.
that part of your life to last forever. I mean, it's just a fact of life that we all get less attractive as we age. Doesn't mean he's not attracted to me or I'm not attracted to him, but I'm not as hot as I was when I was 22. In fact, when I was on the show, I rated myself a 5. And everybody always gets upset with Andrew because he rates me a 6. And I'm like, I think he's giving me just a hair more than I deserve. But I'm a normal, regular, 44-year-old Midwestern mom of 5. You want me to come on here and say I'm a 10? Do I look like Pamela Anderson? You know what I mean? It's like, come on, just be realistic. You guys get upset with him because he tries to give you a little tiny dose of reality and he doesn't blow a bunch of smoke up your ass. But he's never rude or mean unless you do it to him first.
Yeah. Yeah, when you give modern women the reality and the harsh truth, they hate you for it.
That's not true.
Okay, can you give me an example?
I just gave you one.
Well, you had an attitude. So you were being kind of like how you did earlier, where you're like, I'm gonna dominate a man and I'm gonna live.
No,
so if
but
you come with
when
a
I told-
sassy attitude and then call yourself a 10 when you're clearly objectively
Okay,
not
but
a 10.
I can have that's
Well,
just
you're
my,
not
that
a
was
10.
just my personality. But when I said it was that comment when it's when the person said rate yourself 1 through 10, I literally when it was my turn I said 10, and then I was like, do you want me to stand up? Because I wanted him to rate me, and then he gave me an 8. But then he was like, he had Andrew rate me. He said a 3, or he's like, she's not a 10. She has no boobies.
Doesn't that make you uncomfortable?
I was like, what? I didn't do anything. I
that-
just rated myself.
Isn't that weird
this
that
is-
your man is looking at her chest? Isn't that weird?
She stood up and asked to have her body evaluated.
No,
So-
but no. I said I wasn't asking for him. By the time I asked him, he wanted what's his name?
Andrew.
So
Brian.
just a second here.
Brian?
You said you were a 10. Andrew said, no, you're not a 10. And he had to explain why. So that was the reason he gave. That's his opinion. No, it doesn't make me uncomfortable. It doesn't bother me.
But it was so unnecessary. That's why I'm saying that he is mean when there's no reason to be mean. Like that was like I was like, oh okay, I guess.
Yeah, I watched
that his comment was so
I
unnecessary.
I watch every episode. You were no little angel. You were not some sweet, nice girl.
I am
who's just
not
really
an angel.
kind.
I'm not. I never said that.
Right. So you had
lying.
attitude. You had sass. You
Yeah,
weren't
but never.
a sweet
Yeah,
little
but like,
angel. So
and that
if he said small boobs, then you have small boobs. Like, what do you want me to say? Like, I'm sorry
like
that
the comment
you
wasn't
noticed
necessary. The comment wasn't necessary.
We're just asking for how you feel about your grown-ass husband saying that stuff.
First of all, don't ever say grown ass man. It's ghetto.
I don't give a fuck.
Whoa.
Try reading some books.
Do you know what ghetto is?
Maybe. All of you've been to all this college, and I'm like, where's all the college education for all these college educate? You're all in college, and you can't put two,
You're not even using the word. You're not
so
even using the
bad
word
for
ghetto
you.
right. So
You have like no
He's
backbone.
a grown ass. He's not a grown ass. Man.
have
But
no
saying those words does not make her ghetto.
You have
Like,
no backbone.
you know what ghetto
Ghetto
is?
thing to say.
A white
no
woman is saying the word
backbone.
ghetto. Crazy.
I feel bad for you.
Crazy.
I feel bad for you because you're 22 and you're on OnlyFans and you've already hit your peak. And you're plenty happy to be rude. You have been so rude on this show, Bang. Don't sit here and gaslight this whole audience. We've all seen you on here, multiple appearances. You are rude and nasty as you can be.
And
then you
that
they're
gets
literally
the
perfect for each other.
views. That gets the views. Why do you think I keep getting invited back? Why do you think I keep getting invited back?
she's literally.
I'm every time I'm on here, I am the title. I am the title every time,
Hollering,
lady.
I can't hear them. When
Okay.
you both start clucking,
No, I said that it's like I just complimented. Like you guys are literally the perfect couple. Like I see why he's attracted to you. Like yes, you guys are a perfect couple. Definitely.
listen, I think it's mean. I think it's actually the cruel thing to do to let young women have free license to act terrible, to be entitled, to be rude, to think that they owe everything handed to them on a silver platter because they push their boobs up, to act like this short phase of life when you're at your peak fertility is gonna last forever. That is what's mean, because what happens
I'm sorry,
is,
you can't live that anymore, and we're going through it. Like what?
See, this is the thing though, I never did that.
It's
I didn't do this
acting.
thing where I was just like
It's giving
promiscuous
old and
all
mad.
through my 20s and 30s. Are you gonna let me talk or what?
She's saying that the peak that you're in right now is not gonna last forever. And you just proved her point by saying that she's old and mad. Nah, man, they don't know how to listen.
So I didn't do this thing. I never did OnlyFans. I didn't sell pornography. I didn't go through a party hoe phase. I was a mom when I was 20 years old. I only ever wanted to be in long-term committed relationships. I was hoping I would just get married and that would be it. I did get divorced. Wasn't my fault. Wasn't anything that could be done about it. Lesson learned, didn't repeat that. But what I'm telling you is, the mean thing is the whole world telling you that you guys are strong, independent women, where you're gonna cry because your hair straightener stopped working on your
Not so
birthday.
much on me. You said that you were being, or your man was only being rude to people who were being rude. I haven't been rude. So I don't feel like you should come for me.
Did you say confront you?
Come for me.
Come for you. I'm not coming for you. I'm saying it's absurd for you to believe that it's like normal behavior to cry because your straight iron broke or cry on every birthday. Like, young women live in such delusion nowadays. That's why everything's all
Facts.
messed up. That's why
Facts.
everything's gone to hell in a handbasket.
Facts.
You guys are not acting like the grown, strong, independent, equal with men, women that you claim to be. And when I just come on here and say, look, this behavior is ridiculous, this is silly and absurd, you can't even take it. You can't take the slightest bit of just like obvious criticism. I'm not calling you names. I'm not swearing at you or anything like that. I'm just saying, you guys were like, well, we want to know how you feel about this, and your husband is rude, and we don't like, and it's like, okay, I'm trying to explain it to you.
Okay,
I'm
can
trying
I?
to explain to you that this princess fantasy world that you live in does need to be, somebody needs to break
Okay.
that down for you, because that's
I-
not reality.
Can I ask you a genuine question?
Yeah.
How long have you been with Andrew? Like married, or like in a like dating and married? I would say, like in a romantic.
17 years.
Okay, 17 years. So that's a long time. You guys seem like a relatively happy couple right now. I'm sure you guys had to have some sort of like emotional connection, right? To like make your whole relationship last 17 years. Can you tell me like
of course.
how you guys do that? Because he made a remark earlier about women not liking, like men not being vulnerable because women will use that against them. And so like he was saying men shouldn't really show like a lot of emotions. And I'm genuinely curious, if you've been with him for 17 years, like how do you guys keep that? Because I'm sure you guys get into fights too. You guys are human.
I'll say something before she answers the questions. Personally, I think that relationships should not be dependent on emotional connections 100% of the time. Of course, you have to be emotionally connected to your person to an extent, but that's not what makes relationships work all of the time. Because, for example, a woman could be emotionally invested and connected to a man 100% of the time for the first 6 months of the marriage. And as soon as he does something that she doesn't like, that shit falls off like the stock market in 1929. That's why both of them should have a sense of responsibility first. You know your responsibilities towards me, I know my responsibilities towards you. And that creates and results in mutual respect between men and women in relationships.
Early on, we got into more fights because I still, look, all of you girls, and me included, okay? I wasn't like born a great wife. I don't think great wives are born. I think they're made. I think it's something you have to, it's like anything else. It's a skill you have to learn and you have to work on. So early on, yeah, I had some attitude issues here and there. Probably not to the extent that a lot of women do, but I would do stupid shit like if he gave me like a little bit of, stern, if he would say, no, we're not going to do that. And I'd get like pouty and like throw a remote control at him or something. And he'd be like, excuse me? If you're going to throw stuff at me, I'm not going to be with you. Like, if that's how you're going to behave, I'll just walk out. He wouldn't get angry or yell at me. He was just like, I'm not going to tolerate that. And at first I would be like, well, that's so, like, how could, and then I thought about it and I went, wait, do I want to be the chick that throws stuff at my man? Like, because he said something that like just hit me wrong in the ear, right? So I learned that Andrew's a man who has boundaries, and he doesn't ever need to be like loud with me or rude with me to enforce them. He's just firm. He's just, and he'll just be like, nope, I'm just not going to accept that. So as time went on, of course we got closer and, we share things, we share life experiences, and he'll tell me how he feels about things to a certain extent. But what he doesn't do is talk to me like I'm one of his girlfriends, right? He doesn't come home from work and be like, it was just such a tough day at work and this guy said something to me and it really made me feel unappreciated. And like, he doesn't dump like all of his emotional stuff on me. He has guy friends for that. He has a dad he can talk to if he's got like man stuff to talk about. We talk about what's pertinent and we're super close. Like anybody who watches the show probably already knows that he and I are like inseparable, super close, best friends, but it's still like a male-female relationship. I don't expect him to act like one of my girlfriends.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. If you act like a girlfriend with your wife and start emotionally dumping problems on her, eventually she's gonna leave you. That's just the harsh reality. Women nowadays don't know how to deal with men's problems. And she also mentioned being firm and having boundaries. And I can't stress that enough. That is such a good trait to have as a man. Because if you draw the line every time someone disrespects you, it's not gonna happen to you again.
And I think a lot of young women especially, they want their boyfriend to act like one of their girlfriends would. And you shouldn't expect that from a man because here's why. If he actually did that, you wouldn't like it. If your boyfriend wanted to cry in your arms all the time when he had a bad day at work, you would very quickly be like, you'd be dry as the Sahara, right? It would just not be a turn on for you. So I think when you're young, you think you want that stuff from a man, but you really don't. So yeah, we're super close, but he doesn't have to like pour out his emotions to me all the time. He does when he wants to and when he feels like that's something he wants to do. The rest of the time, I respect it if he doesn't want to do that.
Okay. And like, do you kind of, you guys are 17 years in, do you know like his like childhood, the way he grew up, and does that help you like understand him a lot better on why he acts the way he acts in certain situations because you know his like background?
Well, yeah, but that's because, you get to know their family, you hear stories, like, of course I know his parents and his siblings. And so I've heard stories about him growing up. He'll tell me stories about growing up. But he's not going to sit down with me like a therapist and be like, you know, when I was growing up, I felt like my mom did this or my dad did that. And here's how it affected my development.
Man.
Like, he's not going to talk to me like that, right? So I do know him. I know him really well.
You know what that is? What she said right here? That's just blaming everyone for your problems. And that makes you have that victim mentality.
I can observe his dynamic with his family and hear stories. So that's like how you get to know a man. It's not going to be like he's going to sit down on the phone with you for 4 hours and pour out his heart necessarily. Maybe some guys do that. Maybe it works for some people, but Andrew is like, he is a pretty stoic guy. He's the same guy at home that he is on the show. The difference is that he never has to have the same dynamic with me that he has with you guys because it's a different relationship. Number one, I'm like pretty smart, to be honest, so he feels like we're on the same level. And I'm really respectful. I'm very submissive.
Are you implying that we're stupid?
Oh
not saying you
my
are.
God. Oh my God. She's been talking for 14 minutes and that's all she heard. That's why I always say that these mother women want to hear what they want to hear. They listen to find a flaw so they can start an argument.
I'm not saying you're stupid. I'm saying that it tends to be the case that a lot of the young ladies who come on here are not like, so Andrew's like a logician. He knows philosophy, he knows history, he's like a really, really, really smart guy. And so sometimes there's a little bit of a mismatch there, and the girls will take what he says wrong because they think he's talking down to them when all he's doing is talking how he normally talks. So he and I don't have that like discrepancy. I'm like, also, I write books and I'm pretty educated and stuff like that. So I just think we're like on the same level and we have similar communication styles. So we don't have the same issue. Like, I don't take offense easily either. If he tells me, oh man, I really, like if I got bangs once and he was like, really don't like the bangs, babe, like you're very pretty, don't like the bangs. I'm just like, okay, no problem. He doesn't like the bangs, we'll grow out the bangs. Whereas a lot of women I think would like cry and get very upset and it would be like a whole issue, and it's just not for me. So I'm just saying, like, personality wise, we match up pretty well that way for the most part.
Noted. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm just saying, don't sit there like victims. If you're willing to dish it out, bangs, you got to be willing to take it. You can't sit there and call him wrinkly and old and insult him first. And then if he goes, yeah, well, you know, it looks like you've gained some weight since the last time you've been here, says something like that. It's like, what do you expect him to say? You knew what he was going to say if you said something like that to him. So,
but I'm not getting mad at him when he says anything. I literally just laugh and I smile and
it's okay.
nod my head.
If you're
and that's
cool
like, I don't know,
with
do you
the,
guys want me to get mad or what reaction
I don't,
what reaction is he looking for then? Because it's obviously not good enough just smiling and nodding my head when he calls me fat.
He's not looking for reaction. I wanted to come on because
My God.
You say now to me, now that I'm here, like, oh, it doesn't really bother me. I just give it back and we do the back and forth. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. If you like to give him some shit and you don't mind if he gives you some shit back, there's no problem with that.
I
But
don't.
What you can't do is give him shit and then go, oh, he gave me shit back.
Girl, no
like,
one
well
did
done.
that. No one did that.
You said, I wonder how I feel sorry for your wife, and you don't have to feel sorry for me. I have a great husband. He's
Perfect.
a really brilliant guy, a really entertaining guy. He is a very handsome guy too. By the way.
Awesome.
I don't know if y'all are blind, but
I don't know
he's
why you
definitely a
have to
handsome
come
guy.
on here and defend it for us. If you were secure,
Because
you were
you
secure,
sat
you wouldn't
here
have
and said
said
you felt
anything.
sorry for me. So I'm just letting you know, you don't have to feel sorry. I couldn't be more blessed to have the husband that I have, which honestly, I feel like I'm punching above my weight a little bit being married to this guy. But so don't feel sorry for me. I'm doing just fine. I'm very happy. Wouldn't want to be with anybody else. And he's a great dad. We have 4 daughters. He's a great dad. Super nice dad, really, really caring. But our kids also are really well behaved. They don't give him a bunch of shit and they don't give him a bunch of attitude. And if they did, they'd hear it from me before they heard it from him, because I would never allow them to disrespect him. So we have a very healthy, like, good family dynamic. And people seem to think that it's weird for parents to have boundaries or for spouses to treat each other respectfully, I guess. I don't know what you guys think is the problem.
Me personally, have never had a grown man talk to me that way. So
well,
it's
that's
just shocking.
the problem. See, that's the problem. You are used to giving people shit and attitude,
Oh
and
my
you
God.
think you have free license to insult people or have a sassy attitude, and that because you have your big boobies pushed up, the men aren't gonna say anything.
Girl,
and Andrew,
do you think
Andrew's 40 and married, and he doesn't give a shit, so he's gonna give it right back to you. And if all men were that way, you wouldn't have the attitude you have.
Okay, I don't act like this outside of here. This is all for show. What is okay, girl?
Well, if that's the case, then I don't know what the problem is.
Me either. I don't know what you decided you wanted to come on here and have a chat with me. So
Yeah, because you invoked me a couple of times. A couple different times now you've made comments about, oh, your wife, you talk to your wife this way. I feel bad for her. I can't believe you have a wife when you act like this. And it's like, if you know the nature of the show, and this is all for show, then there shouldn't be a problem. There's been plenty of women on this show, by the way, who Andrew has been super nice to, has gotten along with great. The only time he gives women shit is if they give him shit first. If they come on with an attitude, if they act entitled, things like that. Then yeah, he's going to match your energy. So
I can just spot an insecure man when I see one. So
that's bullshit, and you know it. You're just saying that as
can do
cope.
it.
That's pure cope. You're coping.
no one's
There's
coping,
nothing
lady.
insecure about Andrew. It's pretty clear that he's not insecure. So
That means that you're also insecure. We're all insecure. Fuck it then.
He was like crying because I didn't say woman. I
Crying?
said woman, and he
No,
got really
listen.
mad. He was crying, and he was like fake
Okay.
crying.
I want you to say something.
It was like
Say-
age regression. We saw age regression right now.
Repeat after me, Bangs. Say
No.
one woman and 3 women went shopping. Go ahead.
No,
One
thank
woman
you.
and 3 women went shopping. Can you do it?
No, you're not my mom. Sorry.
Well, I tried. It's just something we notice. I don't know if it's a California girl thing or if it's like a Gen Z thing, but y'all don't know the difference between woman and women, and it drives everyone crazy. Read the comments section sometime under the show. Everybody notices it.
Well, I
Drives
don't know what to
everybody
tell
crazy.
you. It's how we speak over here.
That's
Yeah,
how y'all
they're
talk
just
for real?
different words.
Y'all really talk like that?
Yeah.
I honestly didn't even notice.
Yeah, me either. I never noticed it until I came on the show.
You never knew it was a difference between woman and woman?
No, I knew there's a difference when I write it. I write it the correct way, but I guess when I speak it, it comes out weird. Really pisses people off. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey,
What do you
Rachel.
think? What do you think, Brian?
What do I think about just whatever you guys were just about the women?
Oh no, about Andrew being mean and everybody being worried about me.
Women,
Everybody being
women.
concerned on my
I
behalf.
can't even pronounce
Okay,
it
it's
right.
okay, girl. We know you're fine. We know you're fine. You're good.
Well, I know both of you personally, and I know you guys have a really fantastic relationship. We've had you in the studio. We've had Andrew a bunch. And it is, to be fair, Bangs, well, I guess not to be fair to you, but you started it.
I don't remember what I said, but I probably did.
You said something
honestly.
about how his looks or his age or something, and he had not said anything yet rude to you, and then he's the type of guy.
It's
he'll,
okay.
He'll
it's
match your
okay if
energy.
I.
He'll
No,
match your energy.
I'm saying that I don't care if he threw shit back at me. That's how it is.
Then what was this all for? Oh my man, let's just continue watching.
Never came and cried that he's like, oh my god, he cried. He called me fat. If we look back at it, he cried.
Andrew, I'm pretty sure Andrew was not crying.
Okay, it's fine. You guys can rewatch it, but I
Andrew
never
was
got.
crying.
Yeah, he was crying because I didn't say, because I said,
Wow.
because I mispronounced woman.
Andrew's
I
been
don't
on.
call that crying.
Andrew's
He was
been,
literally age regression right in front of us.
That's wow. You are the first woman to make Andrew cry. That is
I'm telling you.
wow. Good for you, Banks.
Didn't you
I
guys
just have that
call
power.
him evil?
She did call.
Yeah,
him
I said
evil.
he steals
Evil.
candy from babies.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that type
Is
of
he the
evil.
Grinch?
It's giving. It's yeah.
Is
I
he the
feel like
Grinch?
no. Yeah, it's
Now this is just becoming a toddler's fight. You steal candies from babies. No, you steal candies from babies. No, I have more candy than you. No, I have more chocolate. Anyway, man, anyway. If you enjoyed this video and it gave you some value, please drop a like, comment, and subscribe as well. And yeah, see you next time.